Thank you to Babbel for sponsoring. More on them at the end of the video. I'm sharing the secrets of using time blocking for ultimate productivity and focus in today's video. Hello everyone, Jennifer L. Scott here, and welcome back to the Daily Connoisseur. So we all have our strengths and our weaknesses, and one of my strengths is productivity. I am a very productive person. Funny enough, my hyper productivity is also one of my weaknesses, but we're not going to focus on that. I'm working on that. That's another video. Today we're going to focus on the positive aspect of productivity and how I'm able to get everything done. So if you're new to my channel, my name is Jennifer and I am the mother of 4 children. I also run this YouTube channel full-time and have been doing so for the past 12, 13 years. I am also the author of the Madame Chic series and Connoisseur Kids, and I'm working on my 6th book right now. So how do I balance all of this? How do I balance home life, parenting, and working? Well, the secret for me is in time blocking. Time blocking in conjunction with my personal planner. And I'm going to share all of my secrets with you right now. So most people have an idea about how much time it takes to complete a task. And usually with tasks that we don't want to do, we have the idea that it takes longer to do them. For example, I read a homemaking book and I don't remember what it was, but it was a long time ago. And it said that the average person thought it took about 10 minutes to unload a dishwasher. Most people don't like that. I don't like doing that either. So they think it takes 10 minutes, but actually it takes about 3 minutes to unload a dishwasher. Interesting, right? I can commit to 3 minutes. Writers do this all the time. They think that in order to write a novel, that they need to be at their desk for like 8 hours as a tortured artist working on their novel. Well, when I was younger, I went to a writer's conference and I remember this successful writer telling us that she only wrote for 1 hour a day. And when I heard that, a light bulb went off in my head and I thought, I can do that. I can commit to 1 hour a day. So the secret to time blocking is coming up with the realistic amount of time it's going to take you to complete your task, and then block it, plan it, and do it. I want you to remember those 3 things, okay? Block it, plan it, and do it. So right now I'm going to share 5 tips to help you incorporate time blocking into your everyday life. So tip number 1 is to write your tasks down. Now I use planners. I love planners. My favorite 2 brands are the Day Designer and Planned and Proper. And I'm going to leave those linked down below. I have discount codes for you if you want to go the route of having a nice professional planner. If you prefer digital, you can do that, but I do find that there is something very powerful about writing your to-do list down and then checking it off manually as you complete your tasks. There's also something very satisfying in that. So you don't have to have a planner. You could use a scrap of paper or a notebook or anything to write it down on. I find that if you're going to commit to this lifestyle, that it's better to do it in a planner, but it's totally up to you. So you are going to dedicate some sort of written document to your new time blocking routine. It is time to commit. Okay, tip number 2 is to assign the time that you're going to do it and actually do it during that time. Now, I'm not talking about planning every single little thing in your day. I'm talking about the major things. I call them the major players that I need to accomplish each day. So have a look here. I did an example of time blocking in my planner for you. So let's look at it. Publish video at 6 a.m. Write book from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Work on article from 10 a.m. to 10:45 a.m. Prepare lunch at noon. Laundry and folding it from 1 p.m. to 1:45 p.m. Journal, tea, and pen pal at 2 p.m. Kids ice cream at 3:30 p.m. Dinner, kitchen, and film at 4:45. So you're going to notice that my time blocking has a mixture of work tasks, homemaking tasks, and self-care tasks. So hold on to that thought because we're going to address that a little bit later. But right now, let's focus on how you can actually do these things at the appointed time now that you have assigned a time to them. And I say that like that because I wrote it in all caps here in my notes because it's so important. Okay, which brings us to the 3rd step, which is supreme focus. This is the good stuff, okay? You figured out what you need to do. You assigned a time to do it. and now you have to do it during that time. So it's about getting into the flow, getting into the zone of that particular task. It's really just embracing it and going for it, all in, and cutting out all distractions. So to do this for maximum productivity, you need to get into the flow like right away. Like you got to get into the flow immediately. Okay, this will be easier for some tasks than it will for others. So for example, if I have to clean the kitchen, it's easy to get into it right away. I know what to do. I put my gloves on, I listen to my music, I get in there. But if you're writing a novel and you have 1 hour, how do you get into it right away? How do you get into the flow? Well, the major key is to cut out all distractions. Don't answer your phone. Don't respond to text messages. Do not, under any circumstances, go on social media. You might think, I have a whole hour to myself. I'm just gonna go on Instagram. Don't do it, because you will get sucked down the rabbit hole, and as soon as you know it, 20 minutes will pass, and then you're gonna be frustrated with yourself that you wasted that time. So just immediately cut out all distractions. I can't tell you how many times I've sat down at my desk to work on a book or creative project, and then I answered a call, like from a family member or something, and then I regretted it because then I'm in this like long exchange and I'm totally out of it. So if it can wait, let it wait. The more you practice this, the more you're going to be able to get into the flow immediately. I'm at the point now, because I've been doing this for so long with my creative work, with writing, that I'm able to sit down and be in the flow. Like once the headphones go on, I'm there and it's great. So it does take a little bit of practice, but you can do it. Okay, tip number 4, when it is time to transition into the next thing, transition. I have that in all caps too in my notes. This is the hardest thing for me. So whether I'm decluttering a closet or working on my book or even cleaning the kitchen, it's like when I'm in the flow and my time is up, I do find it difficult to transition to the next task. So how do we do that without kicking and screaming? So what I do is I wrap up what I'm doing without going too far into the time. I close it off and I accept that this part is now over and now I am moving into the next part. But having said that, sometimes it's hard to transition from work mode to family mode or work mode to homemaking mode. Now here's my key. When I transition to it and I have a negative mindset about it, I change my thinking and tell myself that I get to do this next instead of I have to do it next. Tip number 5 is to schedule a variety of categories for balance. So let's go back and look at the type of things that I time block. So many people will time block for only work things or homemaking things, but I time block for everything, including self-care. So if you go back and look, you'll see that I include journal, tea, and pen paling at 2 p.m. So this is equally as important to me as writing my book or making dinner for my family, because it is self-care time and I need that downtime, and I do schedule it in because that gives it gravity, it gives it importance, and I tend to honor it more when I schedule it in. Plus, it's nice to look at your time blocking list and have something that you really look forward to doing. If it's all just like work and really hard stuff, it can be daunting. But I know that I can get through those first tasks because at 2 o'clock, I'm doing journaling, tea, and pen paling. So what will happen during this time? I will transition from what I was doing previously, make myself a cup of tea, take some time to write in my journal, and open a letter from my pen pal, or maybe I'll write a letter to my pen pal. This is time where I'm able to just fill my cup and feel restored. So I want to encourage you to put in self-care in your time blocking routine. Let's say you are a new mother and you hardly have any time for yourself. I want you to schedule it in your time blocking routine, in between all the things that you're doing in the day, and take care of yourself specifically for that period of time. And it could be whatever you like to do. It could be paint your nails, it could be watch a YouTube video, have a cup of tea. Now, sometimes your other tasks are going to want to eat into this time, but don't let it happen. Treat this time as important, and you're going to find your overall health and well-being and mental health is going to improve because of this. You're really investing in yourself when you do things like this. And I finally just wanted to say that each day should be fluid and flexible. Okay, so we shouldn't be so rigid that we schedule our day down to like the very second. I'm only doing the major tasks, the major things that I need to accomplish each day. If for some reason I don't get to something, that's okay. I just circle it and I put it on the to-do list for the next day. But I genuinely enjoy this process. I love time blocking. I love writing things off my list. I love being productive. and I feel very accomplished at the end of each day. And now I'd like to share the sponsor for today's video, which is Babbel. Babbel is one of the top language learning apps in the entire world. As we head into the back to school season, Babbel is a great companion for students or anyone wanting to learn a new skill. In the past, when I wanted to embark on studying a language by myself, I always just dropped the desire, but Babbel makes it easy and fun and guides you along the way, making you want to learn the language every day. Babbel is scientifically proven to help you start speaking a new language in 3 weeks. Babbel teaches real-world conversations, lessons that prepare you to have practical conversations about travel, business, relationships, and more. Here I am doing my next French lesson. J'ai fait la vaisselle.
J'ai fait la vaisselle. Qui est-ce qui descend les poubelles?
Qui est-ce qui descend les poubelles? So get 60% off your subscription when you click my link, and thank you to Babbel for sponsoring. I would love to know about your time blocking schedule. How do you use time blocking in your life, or is this something that you plan to implement? Let us know in the comments down below. In the meantime, keep calm and remain classy, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.